Hello everybody, I know it's been a while since this video went up by Chris, but I've been quite busy. I took about 5 days off to go visit some college friends, and then I had to deal with a family issue, but now I am back and I am making Chris-chan videos, and so I've decided that I'm going to go line by line through this strange poem that Chris uploaded on his channel and dissect it. I'm gonna use my English degree, and I'm gonna put it to some good use, and we're gonna let's just see what happens here. So in case you didn't know, Chris put up this video with this guy who's wearing this mask and this doctor's coat. I think that's what that is. And he's reading a poem that Chris wrote. Now, the first thing that you're going to notice, besides his creepy mask and glasses, is that this poem is apparently several pages long. We have, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, there's at least 5 or 6 pages there. But the poem is not actually very long. I'm going to play it for you in a second. The entire video comes out to like 2 minutes. So we're just going to see what Chris wrote. So the title of the video was A Message from the Future. So this person standing here is supposed to be Ricardo Chandler, who in Sonichu lore is Christine's son. The lore is a little weird originally. You know, I'm not even going to talk about what happened originally because it's strange and I don't want to think about it. So before he transitioned, he stored some of his male stuff away, and after he transitioned, he impregnated himself with his own male stuff to give birth to children, and he gave birth to 2 Sonichus. The boy is called Ricardo, and the girl is, of course, Crystal. Crystal goes back to this dream that Chris had when he was younger, that one day he would give birth to a girl named Crystal. And so for his entire life, since he was like 20 years old, he's wanted to have this prophecy come true. This is what his love quest was all about. He wanted to make Crystal. So he is Crystal, he is Ricardo, and this person standing in front of us is Ricardo, and they're going to read us a poem. So let's just get started.
Hello everyone, far and near. I have something you want to hear. So please use your ears before I disappear. Let's make something clear before we start. I have a good purple heart that won't fall apart.
So the purple heart part is a reference to the Hyper Dimension Neptunia games that Chris loves so much. He believes that he is Blue Heart, which is a goddess, and so as Chris's son or daughter, they would have magical powers too, and they would apparently also be goddesses. So this one is Purple Heart. I don't think it's in reference to actual Purple Hearts in the Army. I think he's talking about CPU Purple Heart.
We are all about to take part in a new event segment.
So he's saying that very soon in the future, there's going to be something newsworthy. There's going to be a new event that is, big, and I'm assuming he's talking about the Dimensional Merge.
Which will indent what you call a cement.
I have no idea what that means. I've read this many times. I have no idea what he refers to when he says a cement. And what you call a cement. No, Chris, I don't call that a cement because that makes no sense.
My intent is to present the news which will eliminate the torment of discontent.
So by telling us the news, we will be, not as scared of what's to come, is what he's saying.
Just keep reading.
That's Chris cutting in, telling him to keep reading, even though, I don't know what happened. A page blew away, maybe?
To a lesser extent. Christine has been hell-bent on being a parent.
Once again, Chris wants to give birth to Crystal to fulfill the prophecy that he believes God has given him.
So she made a pleasant investment and got my mother pregnant.
So, this differs from current Sonichu lore, like I just explained. In Sonichu, Chris is both the father and the mother. In the original version, which I said I wasn't going to talk about, but I guess I have to, Chris was basically tricked by trolls into impregnating Sonichu. So there's a drawing, and this was canon for a while, of Chris himself impregnating Sonichu to give birth to his children. But now, apparently, there is a mother and got my mother pregnant. So that means that Chris isn't the mother, which is strange because he's transgender, and so he would believe that he is the mother. See, I'm not going to try to figure it out. You figure it out. If you can make any sense of this, please tell me in the comments.
I am a fluorescent adolescent.
Once again, I think that's just a reference to them having magical powers.
a direct descendant and not the only attendant.
So a direct descendant of Chris and not the only attendant, not the only child. I think, again, we're talking, the person talking is Ricardo. So, not the only attendant, there's another, there's Crystal.
There is one other.
Yeah, here we go.
Crystal. And I am her brother. There is much you don't know unless I show. But that is a no-go.
So, even though he's from the future and he knows what's going to happen, he's not going to tell us.
Right now I am here solo.
For some reason, Crystal couldn't come, so he's here by himself.
But soon I will have my shadow. A lovely combo.
So, even though shadow doesn't usually refer to, like, a brother or sister or twin or anything, I'm assuming that the shadow would be Crystal. And combo is actually another reference to Sonichu, where the chaotic combo is a group of Sonichus. That's like Punchy Sonichu and Angelica Rosechu and stuff. They're like the Power Rangers of Sonichu, and so they're called the chaotic combo. So that's referencing Sonichu.
There will be no tiptoe around the tempo. I must let go of my manifesto and go back to the golden, glow Babylonian weeping willow.
I have no idea what he says there. So he was talking about a manifesto. He has to something, but it sounds like he's saying baloney. I'm gonna rewind. So he can't tiptoe around the tempo, meaning, hey, this is gonna be hard to listen to. I can't tiptoe around it. He has a manifesto, apparently. I want to read it. I'd love to read Ricardo's manifesto.
I must let go of my manifesto and go back to the...
So here, go back to the golden, and then listen. I swear he says baloney.
Golden, glow Babylonian weeping willow.
Don't know what that means.
Below the Jim Crow Plateau.
I don't know what that means either. I'm just going to interpret it as being, like, in the South. Like the Mason-Dixon. He's calling it the Jim Crow Plateau. I don't know why he would call it that. But that's what I'm going to interpret it as.
I hope I have walked this difficult tightrope well, under your light microscope. Nonetheless, God bless. Thanks for working with me in this process. More or less, it's still a work in progress. I hope to bring happiness for all parties. But please don't sniff those gnarly Sharpies.
Yeah, don't do drugs, kids. That's what Chris is telling you there at the end. So that was the video, and it was very strange. It came out of nowhere, and nobody really knows what it means. Now, the big thing is, of course, who is this guy? Who is this guy in the mask who actually read the poem? And nobody knows. I believe I've been told by people in my Discord that somebody on the Kiwi Farms proved that it was not the guy who took Chris to the asylum. So, basically, the only thing we have on this guy is that it's not those guys, which is not much. In fact, it's nothing, because it doesn't tell us who it is. So, I'm assuming that whoever this person is still in contact with Chris, might make more videos with Chris, and hopefully we'll see more of Ricardo in the future, and he'll tell us more about the prophecy and the dimensional merge, because honestly, there's not been much news as far as Chris goes in the last couple weeks. He sort of laid off the dimensional merge, and he hasn't even really freaked out about the Sonichu movie, which I thought was weird. I'm going to have a whole nother video about Chris's response to the trailer for the Sonic movie. I said Sonichu movie. I meant the Sonic movie. But for now, this is it. So, thank you all for watching. I'm going to leave a link in the description to the original video on Chris's channel where this came from. It doesn't have subtitles. I added those myself. But you can go and watch it, and maybe you can figure out what he means when he's talking about baloney, because I literally cannot understand him.